And his second pitch in there for ball 2. Serrano on the mound to start things off for the Miners. First batter he's facing is Jones of the Oilers. Pitch in there a little on the outside for ball 3. Now 3-0 count for Serrano.
We apologize for feeling a little rushed. And, of course, we're dealing with a couple of technical difficulties early on.
And that is a 4-pitch walk. Start things off in the second game for Serrano. Brings up Hernandez. Of course, the Miners won the first game of this doubleheader about 30 minutes ago, won 4-1 over the Oilers. Stubblefield, outstanding pitching, 7 innings, pitched his complete game. And, of course, these games are only 7 innings. First pitch to Hernandez, high ball 1. And Mitchell now will head to the outfield to talk with pitcher Kyle Serrano. And in the outfield for the Miners, it's Brandon Smith in left, Cameron Frost in center, Newell in right. Then in the infield, Rogers at third, Panachone at short, Sinzel at second, and Simmons at first. Mitchell now doing the catching for Kyle Serrano.
Feels like there wasn't even a break.
No.
Go to the bathroom, drink a little water, right back in the seats.
1-0 pitch. Shows bunt, instead takes it as a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jones playing at shortstop this second game. Or, excuse me, that's Hernandez. Little outside ball 2. Hernandez is playing at second. Jones, who's on first, reached base on the walk, is playing shortstop.
Yes, Jones goes from third to short. Played third in game 1.
2-1 pitch, runner at first goes, high fly ball, into shallow left field. Going back for it is actually Panachone, and Panachone will make the first out of the game.
First out of game 2.
Game 2, right.
And now up for the Peninsula Oilers.
And that brings up
Number 28, Ethan McGill.
Ethan McGill, the first baseman in the second game.
I like these doubleheaders.
Yeah, me too. I like kind of shorter, this earlier time of day. There's more fans here.
Yeah, we don't have a official number for game 1. We'll have one for game 2 because most of the fans just stay.
Pitch, runner goes at first. The throw by now, and Sinzel not able to make the catch. Drops the ball, and that is a stolen base for Jones. Ethan McGill, the first baseman, bats on the left, facing Kyle Serrano, the righty.
5th stolen base for Jones.
One-0 pitch, little high, ball 2. I don't know if the Miners fans really agreed with that one. I think it just caught that, a little upstairs.
Little high.
Little high. Pitch. That's in there for a strike, and that's 1 strike for Serrano. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Home plate umpire Ralph Wilcott, and the field umpire is Tim Davis. Same duo for game 2 as it was in game 1.
2-1 pitch. Swung on, foul back, and that's strike 2 by McGill.
You know that Kyle Serrano's dad is here, Dave Serrano. He's the head coach at the University of Tennessee. Head baseball coach for Nick Senzel, Jordan Rogers, and Kyle Serrano. Got to chat with him. I believe that was Friday. Yes, that was Friday night in Chugiak in the 5th inning. Very nice guy.
Very nice. Pretty cool to have an SEC coach with us. 2-2 pitch. Little outside ball 3. Now full count for Serrano.
That's one of the benefits of for us working in one of the top summer collegiate leagues. Get to talk to
yes,
the best. Some of the best players, some of the best coaches, scouts, people in the business, everybody.
3-2 pitch. That's strike 3. And the first strikeout of the game for Kyle Serrano.
Yeah, other than that walk in the stolen base, I mean, Serrano's looked pretty good to the first 3 hitters. He also pitched very well in his last start. That was on the 24th against the Chinooks.
Now at the plate for the Oilers, Gabriel Munoz. First pitch, high and outside, ball one. Munoz Munoz doing the catching the second game for the Oilers. Second pitch, high fly ball, foul. Behind the third base dugout is where the Oilers are. Munoz hitting 162. 6 runs, 6 hits. Has had 2 home runs on the season with 5 RBIs. Been walked 5 times and been struck out 11.
From Arkansas Pine Bluff.
1-1 pitch, outside, ball 2. So we have a runner on first. The leading run at first is Jones, shortstop. It's walked by Serrano, then stole second. Hernandez, the fly out, and McGill with a strikeout. That's where we're at with Gabriel Munoz. 2-1 pitch, swung on, high fly ball behind us. Makes it 2-2.
Different defensive alignment for the Miners. Jordan Rogers still at third, Paul Panachone at short, Nick Senzel at second, Hunter Simmons at first, left to right, Brandon Smith, Cameron Frost, Cam Newell. Mitchell now doing the catching for Serrano.
2-2 pitch, swung on, ground ball down the third base side, and that'll roll foul. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Munoz steps back into the batter's box. Face Serrano. Now a 2-2 count, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away here in the top of the first. Here's the pitch. Big swing for strike 3, and that is now 3 away for the Miners, and the second strikeout of the game for Kyle Serrano. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of the first. Miners and Oilers tied at 0. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Bottom of the first now here at Herman Brothers for this game 2 of the doubleheader. Starting things off for the Miners, center fielder Cameron Frost. On the mound for the Oilers, Tyler Payton out of Oregon State. And Frost in the first game of this doubleheader was 1 for 3. Had a triple in the 5th. First pitch low for ball 1. One 0 count now to Frost. Here's the pitch. And there for strike 2. Excuse me, strike 1. There's a very big gap out in left center field. That's where most of the Miners hitters hit to. Found that wide open gap right about the BP sign around there. Frost swings and misses for strike 2.
I told Frost that his triple in game 1, I said to him, I called that a belly flop. He goes, that was not a belly flop.
1-2 pitch. Fouls it off.
He goes, Myers triple, that was a belly flop. I said, you kind of just want to switch things up. He goes, it was called a head first slide. I said, you want to switch things up?
See, that's
And
what
I said that to you. It's
I
switching
know.
things up.
But belly flop sounds like they just like fell on their stomach and then it slide. 1-2 pitch. Big swing for strike 3, and that is strikeout number 1 for Peyton. I don't know. To me, that's just what it sounds like.
All
but
right.
I understand they're trying to switch it up and
All right.
use synonyms. And that brings up Paul Panachone, the shortstop.
And now up for the Miners.
Panachone in the first game was 0 for 3. Had a ground out and 2 flyouts, both to right field. First pitch, a little low for ball 1 to Panachone. Panachone out of Grand Canyon. 1-0 pitch. Hitting .299. Has 7 doubles, 1 triple, and 11 RBIs. 2-0 pitch, ground ball into left field, and that'll be a base hit for Paul Panachone. So 1 on for the Miners as Cam Newell heads to the plate.
Paul went hitless in game 1, but it seems like he just can't go a day, not a game, but a day overall, without getting on base. He's kind of an on-base machine.
Cam Newell, the left-handed batter, at the plate now. Newell hitting .457. First pitch, big swing for strike 1. In the first game, he was 1 for 1. He was walked and hit by a pitch and had a single in the first. Stole second. So it's lefty versus lefty between Tyler Payton, the pitcher. Swung on, high fly ball down the third base side, giving chase as a first baseman. And that will go out of play for strike 2.
Tyler Payton is from Oregon State, 0-1 with an ERA of 3. This is his third game, second start, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. Last pitch on the 24th against the Bucks, got the loss. 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts.
0-2 count. Here's the pitch. High ball 1.
And I'm going to try this again. In game 2, Miners going with the green tops,
Yep.
and the Oilers with the black tops and red numbers and letters.
Yes,
All right.
you got it.
Our kindergarten lesson during the break worked.
0-2 pitch. Runner goes at second. Here's the throw. And Paul Panachone safe at second with the steal.
He got a great jump in the shortstop. Jones made the catch and sort of just, I would say he flew over.
I think that's a good
he
way
flew
to
over
Yeah.
Paul
Well,
Panachone.
Did he make the catch? It looked like he
Yep.
made the catch, just didn't make the tag.
Yep.
Very athletic play by
Excellent.
Jones.
5th stolen base for Paul Panachone.
So now 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cam Newell. Peyton looks at second at Panachone. Here's the pitch. Swung on, high fly ball into right field. Going back for it is Rose. And Rose will catch it right on the foul line. Panachone heads back to second to tag up. And that is now 2 away for the Oilers. Brings up designated hitter Matt Decker. Saw Decker play at first in the first game. Decker had a single in the first inning of the first game, then a double in the fourth and scored a run, and was walked in the 6th and also scored a run. So 2 for 2. First pitch by Peyton, high ball 1. Peyton keeping a close eye on Panachone at second.
Matt Decker, I got to chat with him for about 15 seconds in between games. He said he likes my shirt.
Well, that's nice of him.
Yeah.
Big swing for strike one. For those who can't see his shirt, it's purple.
Yeah, I've worn this shirt. I don't think I've worn it this summer. I don't think Emma's keeping track, though.
Eh,
That means yes.
I'm not that observant, really. 1-1 pitch. In there for strike two. Looked a little low, but that'll be strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Matt Decker with 2 outs. Panachone, the leading run and the first run of the game at second. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Low ball 3. Jones and Hernandez, the shortstop and second baseman, playing almost on that outfield grass. First baseman McGill and third baseman Rubanowitz, the third baseman, playing in the middle of the dirt, and that's a big swing for strike 3 by Matt Decker. And that is 2 strikeouts for Tyler Payton, the pitcher for the Oilers. That's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. As we head to the top of the second, the Miners and the Oilers are tied at 0 runs apiece. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Back here at Herman Brothers, here in the top of the second inning, we are scoreless through 1. At the plate now, right fielder for the Oilers. That is Josh Rose. First pitch by Serrano's fouled back by Rose. Rose out of Utah, freshman there. He's a Ute. Teammate of Hunter Rodriguez and Hunter Simmons.
You think he has a pair of those white Converse?
Probably. Big swing for strike 2 by Rose.
I want to find out about that.
Yeah, Hunter Rodriguez was wearing his last night at team dinner at the Christopher House.
Oh, was he?
He was.
I didn't know that.
0-2 pitch, outside corner for for ball 1.
I talked to Denise for a little bit, as well as Pete, in between innings and in between games. And Denise said, I asked, is this a crowd of more than 1,000? She goes, oh, yeah.
Breaking ball stays up there for ball 2. Rose hitting .279. Has 2 home runs, 10 RBIs, and has been struck out 17 times. Lefty with a very wide open stance. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, high fly ball into left field. Going for it is Smith. It is in foul territory, but he'll still chase it down, and it'll get down for a foul ball.
These jerseys for the Oilers, the black and red.
Right, yep.
All right. Just testing myself. They kind of remind me of Chicago Bulls jerseys with the colors.
Definitely.
And even the font, the back font. And, of course, this is Rose at the plate.
2-2 pitch. Big swing for strike 3, and the third strikeout for Kyle Serrano. As the first out of the second inning. Brings up the designated hitter in the second game, Nick Thurman. Goes to Louisiana Lafayette, sophomore.
And now up for the Oilers.
He bats left-handed, but throws right-handed. He's a sophomore, hitting .179.
Terrence Connolly and Cam Newell. They also bat left-handed and throw right-handed.
In there for strike one for Thurman. Thurman with 1 home run and 5 RBIs on the season. 0-1 pitch by Serrano. Ground ball down the third base side. Backhanded by Rogers. Scoops it up. Makes the throw to first to Simmons. And that is now 2 away with the 5-3 putout. And that brings up the left fielder for the Oilers, Josh Sanford.
Next center fielder, number 23.
Excuse me, that's Jordan Sanford. Sanford from Powell, Tennessee. First pitch by Serrano, low ball 1. Goes to East Tennessee State. He's a senior, hitting .255. 1 double, 5 RBIs, 1-0 pitch, and there for strike one.
If anybody's joining us in game 2, Sanford is a college teammate of Clint Freeman who played for the Miners in 2012.
1-1 pitch, swung on, fouled back. Strike 2.
Freeman played on the Cape last summer.
One-two pitch by Serrano. Breaking ball, swung at it, fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Thurman, and 2 away here at the top of the second, still scoreless between the Miners and the Peninsula Oilers. 1-2 pitch on the outside for ball 2. Swung on, foul back again by Thurman.
34 pitches for Serrano, 19 strikes.
Cameron Frost playing in pretty much right center field almost. Huge gap in left center. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Little high ball 3, now full count.
2 outs in the inning. Serrano would love to get out of this and get some run support. Miners are good at that.
3-2 pitch. Swung on ground ball to Jordan Rogers. Third baseman scoops it up, makes it to first. And that'll be 3 up, 3 down inning for Kyle Serrano and the Miners. Still scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second. No runs, no hits, and no errors. Nobody left on. You're listening to the Miners Radio Network.
Brandon Smith.
Back here at Herman Brothers Field here in the beautiful Palmer, beautiful sunny Palmer, Alaska here. I'm Emmett Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. And here at the bottom of the second inning, Miners and Oilers are tied at 0 runs apiece. Starting things off is Brandon Smith. He sends one into right field. Going for it is Rose, the right fielder, takes a couple steps forward and makes the catch for out number 1. That brings up Nick Senzel. It is actually his birthday today. He's playing at second base. He played second base in the first game.
And up now for the Matsu Miners, number 13, Nick Senzel.
Senzel was struck out in the second inning, part of a double play in the fourth. Reached base in the sixth on a fielder's choice and stole third, but then was left on. First pitch by Peyton in there for strike 1.
Emma, we've gotten the attendance for game 1.
What is it?
You had guessed 950?
Yes.
989.
Oh, so do I win?
What do you win?
I don't know. I didn't go over it.
You don't win anything.
Oh. Okay, well, my guess was pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Second pitch to Senzel, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Little high for ball 2. You know, it's Kyle Serrano's, no. Nick Senzel, excuse me, Nick Senzel's birthday today. It is also my parents' anniversary today. They've been married for 23 years. 2-1 pitch, swung on for strike 2.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. They are, so I'd just like to say a happy anniversary. I don't think they're listening live. They're at freshman orientation with my sister at the University of Missouri. We have a second Mizzou Tiger in the house. 2-2 pitch, swung on, fouled back. And they sent me a picture. They got to meet the chancellor of Missouri
I want to do
on their
that.
anniversary.
I
He's
wanna-
awesome. He's coming up to Alaska. I might have lunch with him.
How does all of this happen?
2-2 pitch swung on, high fly ball into deep right field, going back for his Rogowski, and makes the catch for out 2.
Okay, how does this happen?
Okay, I'll tell you how this happened. So he used to be, I think, the president of Texas A&M University, then came to Mizzou to be the chancellor. At the plate now, Hunter Simmons, first baseman. Very active on Twitter, and just loves hanging out at, the different sporting events at Mizzou. And I saw him at one of the Mizzou baseball games, and we got to talking. I said, I'm going to Alaska for the summer to broadcast baseball. And here's the first pitch to Simmons, high ball 1. And he says, I'm going up there to visit my son. And turns out he's going to be up, I think, in Anchorage. He knows where Palmer is, which I was very impressed with.
Me
He's going
too.
to be in Anchorage, and we might meet up for lunch. 1-0 pitch, and there for strike 1.
Kinda cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's so cool. He's just a little guy. He always wears bow ties, and so his handle on
love this
Twitter
guy.
is Bow Tiger. It's awesome, and he'll tweet at the students and take selfies. Simmons fouls this one back. He takes selfies with the students, and then also does sorority squats too. He's just kind of the coolest guy. So pretty cool. My parents got to meet him on their 23rd anniversary. 23 years. That's a long time.
It's pretty cool.
Hanging out in Missouri. 1-2 pitch to Simmons. Swung on. It's line drive into left field. Diving for it is Sanford, and he makes the catch. Actually, no, they're going to say that he, I guess, trapped it. So Simmons with the single with 2 outs.
Yeah, I actually just looked to see on my scorebook, and I see 2 outs. I'm like, why aren't people coming off the field?
And now at bat for the Matsu Miners.
And brings up
Number 30.
the catcher for the second game, Mitchell Now. Now doing the catching for Serrano. Swings at the first pitch, ground ball into left field. And Simmons will head to second, and now will be safe at first.
Back-to-back singles.
Brings us to Jordan Rogers, the third baseman, out at the University of Tennessee. We have all 3 Tennessee Volunteers playing in this second game. Serrano on the mound, Senzel at second, and Rogers at third.
Now up for the Matsu Miners. Third baseman, number 7,
Jordan Rogers out of Arlington, Tennessee. Hitting .239 with 4 doubles, 9 RBIs. He's only been walked 3 times, which seems kind of low for me. Seems like, in there for strike 1. Well, compared to Hunter Simmons, who's been walked, I think last time we checked it was 14 or 15 times. Simmons at second, the leading run. 0-1 pitch, outside ball 1. Simmons on second, now at first, and Rogers at the plate. Bottom of the second here. Two, 1 count now for Simmons with 2 away. Peyton sets, looks back at second at Simmons, pitches, and Rogers swings at it, fouls it back, and that'll be strike 2.
I think you guys may be having a hard time picking up the crowd sound. If you're not hearing it, let us know. Send us an email, matsuminersbroadcast@gmail.com, or tweet at us or comment below. We'll try to get that fixed.
2-2 pitch to Rogers, swung on. That'll get down, scooped up by Jones, the second baseman, and could not make the throw in time to first, and that is now 3 singles in a row for the Miners. Simmons safe at third, now safe at second, and Rogers safe at first. Bases are loaded for Cameron Frost, top of the order, leadoff hitter for the Miners. 0 for 1 in the second game, but we know he has the power and had a triple in the first game for the Miners. And still a tie game at 0 runs apiece between the Oilers and the Miners. Here's the first pitch, low in the dirt for ball 1. So the leading run in the first run of the game, just 90 feet away. It's Hunter Simmons at third base. Here's the pitch by Peyton. Swung on, fouled back. That's strike 1. So Simmons at third, now at first. Here's the pitch. High fly ball into left field. Going back for it is Sanford. He will be at the wall to make the catch to end the inning. And the Miners leave 3 on. That's no runs, no hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. As we head to the top of the third, Miners and Oilers are scoreless through 2. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Alex Rubenowitz.
Well, Kyle. 1, 2, 3 out there, buddy.
He's on a mission. Go get him.
Alex Rubenowitz lead things off. Ball 2, 2-0. Trying to deal with some technical difficulties here with the music and the crowd sound. The crowd sound seems to be the bigger issue. 2-0 in there for a strike. 2-1. Let us know if you were listening to Game 1. Let us know if Game 2 is just as good as Game 3 in terms of the crowd sound. 2-1. Pitch from Serrano. Line foul to the left. Two and two. Rubanowitz was 0 for 3 in the first game. 2-0 outside. Excuse me, 2-2 outside. 3 and 2. Remember, you can email us, or you can tweet at us, or comment. Here's the 3-2 from Serrano. Line back and it hits him. Serrano back off the mound, fields it, throws to first himself, and Simmons can't hold on. It gets into right field. Newell runs in, doesn't throw to second. Is Ben Taylor making his way out to check on his right-hander from Tennessee. Infield comes in as well.
That looked like it hit Serrano right in his hip as it was coming back. He was coming off the mound through his rotation. And you know how he kind of turns. Kind of turned away from the pitch and it hit him in his hip.
Well, Ben Taylor making his way back to the dugout. Guess Serrano's good. Actually, I think he's going to take a couple warm-up tosses first. No score. Miners have 4 hits. Still throwing hard.
Oh, yeah. You can hear the pop.
You can hear the pop in the glove as Ben Taylor making his way back to the dugout, and Serrano's going to hang in there. So now Rubanowitz is on second base.
Number 3, Nick Rogowski.
Official scoring is an error charged to Hunter Simmons on the throw from Serrano. It was a good throw. Lifted. Simmons steps on the bag for the first out. Sorry, we're pretty distracted by the crowd sound. Trying to take care of that at the same time, but we'll run you through this. Rogowski is out. Rubanowitz is now on third base. Chopper by the mound. Serrano picks in his glove, fields, and off the glove of Simmons. Here comes the run, and the Oilers lead it 1-0. Pretty good throw from Serrano just over the glove of Simmons. Simmons it actually was in his glove, and I think he didn't squeeze it, and it came out of the glove.
Now 2 errors in the inning for the Miners.
15, second baseman A.J. Hernandez.
Here is A.J. Hernandez. He popped out to short. Check swing to strike. Popped out to short in the first. He's 0 for 1. And was 0 for 3 in game 1. Now we're hearing that the crowd sound is just about the same as the first. 0-1, runner first is off. It's Jones' throw from now. The slide, safe. Advances to second on the stolen base. 1-1 on Hernandez, the second baseman. From UNLV. Runner at second, a run in, 1 away, pitch from Serrano. Slap foul right near us. One and 2, 1 away. A run in for the Oilers. They lead it 1-0. Still a very good crowd here. We can call it a good night for baseball. Earlier it was a good day for baseball.
Yeah, it's about 5 till 7 now.
1-2, little inside, 2-2. Outfield straight away. Newell playing deep right. Senzel in at second base. 2-2. Here's the pitch. Outside, 3-2, full count. One run. Still no hits for the Oilers. Pitch from Serrano. Called strike. 3. Fourth strikeout for Kyle Serrano. 2 down in the third.
Hernandez thought that was ball 4 and was ready to throw his bat and head to the base.
And now up for the Oilers.
Instead, it was strike 3.
First baseman.
He did not strike out in game 1. That's his first strikeout of game 2. And here's Ethan McGill. He struck out in the first. And he struck out once in game 1. Runner at second. It's Miles Jones. He's off. Throw from Mitchell now. Catch, slide, tag. He's out. Miles Jones gunned down trying to swipe third. Kyle Serrano gets out of a jam. The Oilers get one, though. It's 1-0. 1 run, no hits, 2 errors, and nobody left on. We head to the bottom half of the third on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Red ticket.
Oilers get a run in the top of the third. They lead at 1-0. Miners coming up in the bottom half.
Up now by the Matsu Miners.
Paul Panachone, Cam Newell, Matt Decker.
Number 3, Paul Panachone.
Panachone singled and stole second in the first inning. First pitch, and therefore strike, 0-1. Second pitch is ball 1, 1-1.
Panachone had a great play at shortstop with a backhand grab, then throw to first.
1-1. Upstairs, 2-1.
And so far in this game, has already reached base 1 for 1. Doing pretty well on the batting side of things.
Pitch lifted to the right. Foul out of play. Kyle Serrano has gone 3 innings, giving up a run. It's not earned. No hits. 2-2. Back to the mound. Pitcher Painter tries to barehand it. Throw off balance by the second baseman. Not in time. So Panachone will reach with an infield single. He's 2 for 2 after going 0 for 3 in game 1. I'll bring up Cam Newell. He flew out to right in the first. Matt Decker on deck. Oh, I like that. Decker on deck. Meyer the minor, Decker on deck. First pitch to Newell. And that's high ball 1. You know, I don't think we've seen the minors in the yellow tops.
For 2 days now, I think.
I don't think they wore them in
Chugiak?
Chugiak. So that means it would have been Tuesday against the Chinooks back here, and I don't think they did. Throw gets away from the first baseman McGill. Panachone to second, and that's close. Panachone's going to have to round second. He hits to third. Ben Taylor is pointing. He's pointing toward home like he was going to send them, but then he didn't say anything. He was probably saying, hey, hold up, rather than giving the sign. There's a lot that happened there, so let's run through that. Panachone was on first. The throw from the pitcher, Payton, to McGill, it got away. And then Panachone went to second. The ball was over by the Miners bullpen. There's a lot of foul ground here at Herman Brothers. And then Panachone went to third. So he gets 2 bases on that error by the pitcher. 1-0, and they're a little high. 2-0. Looks like it was a strike. Two 2-0 on Newell. Here's the pitch up, and that gets away from the catcher. Here comes Panachone. He is in, and we're all knotted up at 1. Boy, Paul, this has just been a game of errors. That's how the runs are coming across. Pitch, that's a strike. 3-1. Three and one on Newell. Here's the pitch. Fouled off to the right. Fans give chase. Full count on Newell, a tie game. Errors, that's what's doing it.
Yep, that's the story of this game so far.
Already 3 total, 2 for the Miners, 1 for the Oilers. 3-2. Twisted to the left side, third baseman Urbanowicz throws to first, 1 away. Here is Matt Decker. Decker struck out in the first. Surprised me. Well, Stubblefield pitched so well in game 1. I shouldn't say I'm surprised, but first pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike. Thought we were going to get to see Matthew Decker.
You know, have you seen him here? I haven't even seen him.
Oh
here.
yeah, number 10. I saw him. Saw him talking to Matt Decker actually over by the Miners dugout at the end of the game. Game 1, 0-1, a little low, 1-1. Pretty cool story, though.
Oh, yeah.
2 Matthew Deckers on the team. Their full names are both Matthew. And a left center coming in is the left fielder. Sanford makes the catch. 2 away. Like Decker may have had another base hit to that left center field gap. Had one in game 1. Here's Brandon Smith.
Left fielder number 25. Brandon
Smith flew out to right in the second inning. Reminder again, this is a 7-inning game. In the bottom of the third now. Pitch, that's low, ball 1.
Yeah, that ball by Decker was more into left field rather than left center field, and that left center field gap is where those Miners batters have really found the most success.
1-0 is low, 2-0. We did not have a post-game show after game 1. We will have one after this one. 2-0, hard grounder into center, a base hit. Brandon Smith is now 1 for 2. was 1 for 3
Up next for the Miners,
in game 1.
second baseman number 13.
Here is Nick Senzel, the birthday boy. Senzel flew out to center in the second. Pitch, slider inside, but it's a strike, 0-1. Oh, 1. Runner at first is Smith. Here's the pitch to Senzel in the dirt, 1-1. Dallas DeVries got the loss in game 1. 4 earned runs. Tyler Stubblefield gets the win, a complete game. 1-1 on Senzel. Here's the pitch. Chopper to the left side. The shortstop Jones goes to first for out number 3. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on. We head to the 4th on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Miners get a run in the bottom of the 3rd. Tied at 1 against the Oilers.
Peninsula Oilers, their catcher number 9.
Ethan
Gabriel
McGill to lead things off against Kyle Serrano. Serrano has been very solid through 3 innings. Giving up a run, it was under, no hits. First pitch to McGill is outside, ball 1.
Correction at bat, number 28, Ethan McGill.
McGill, the first baseman. Pitch from Serrano, swing and a miss. 1-1. McGill from Incarnate Word, college teammate of Matthew Decker. 1-1. Foul back right near us. With the win in game 1, the Miners are 13-4 and have a 3-game lead on the Pilots in the National League. 1-2 outside. Announced attendance at tonight's game, 989. Pitch outside. 3-2. 3-2 from Serrano. Outside, ball 4. Second walk given up by Serrano. And here comes Gabriel Munoz.
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 There are a couple of those names
Yeah.
on this team. Munoz, Rubanowitz, and
These are-
Rogowski.
Yeah, some
8th
of them
and
are
9th
tough.
batters. Yeah. Plus, we've never seen this team before, except
Right.
for the first game of the doubleheader.
First pitch is low and away, ball 1.
Kyle, hit the mid.
The Miners, yes, the tough ones would be, let's see.
Well,
Sevi
Sevi,
Romo. Everyone thinks it's Steve. It's Sevi.
and then Sinzel for Sinzel.
Yep.
I've heard that a lot.
1-0 rip to left and just to the left of that foul line. It's 1-1. Yeah, I've heard Senzel,
Farindelli.
Farindelli. That's most people get. Oglesby people get.
Loker and Locker.
Yeah, I made that mistake a couple times.
Wunderlich, maybe.
The toughest one is Panaccione.
Panaccione,
I've heard
yeah.
Panaccione, Panaccione, Panaccione. I've heard everything. Panaccione. 1-1. Loneway gets away from the catcher now, and up to second is McGill. Munoz has a 2-1 count against Serrano. The runner on second, it's McGill. Here's the pitch. High fly ball to deep left. Brandon Smith going back at the track in front of the wall. He makes the catch.
Ooh, at the wall.
That was close.
That was so high. I thought that was out of here, but I mean, if Munoz would have taken a little bit off the height and put more on the
power.
Yeah. That would have been into the trees.
Right in front of the Valley Hotel sign in left center, right next to the 342 mark. And here is Josh Rose, the right fielder. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the second. Yeah, the Oilers almost took the lead there. Pitch. Upstairs, ball 1. Miners checked into game 2 of this doubleheader on a 6-game win streak. 1-0. Serrano looks at second. Kicks. Here's his pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Miners in conference 8-2 in the last 10 games. Overall 9-1. 1-1 on Rose. Serrano sets. Looks at second. Kicks. Pitch outside. 2-1. The Miners overall 13-4. A 3-game lead on the Pilots. They're in second, and the Chinooks are in third. In the American League, the Bucks are 14-6. The Oilers are 12-6. Called strike to Rose, 2-2. The Panners are third. They've won 9 in a row. Overall, they're also 9-1. The Chinooks are 1-9 in the last 10 games.
Most of those coming from the Miners.
Right. 2-2. Upstairs, 3-2, a full count. Emma, we've had a good Twitter day. We're up to 196 followers.
Wow, just 4 more to break 200.
Yeah, so if you don't already, follow us on Twitter, at ABL Miners. 1 out, 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Kyle Serrano. 2 down in the top of the 4th.
These starting pitchers now with Stubblefield and Serrano, I bet head coach Ben Taylor and Brad Baker, the pitching coach, are pretty happy with the way things have kind of turned around here. This point in the season for the Miners, we're a little nervous about those starting pitchers early on, but now that they seem pretty comfortable up there on the mound.
Here is Nick Thurman. First pitch is low and away, ball 1. Thurman grounded a third in the second. Yeah, Serrano was a little wild. Hendricks was a little wild. Farindelli had a rough first start, but everybody, you name them, have come around since. Fouled right back. The screen, 1-1. Go-ahead run for the Oilers is in the scoring position at second. It's Ethan McGill. 1-1 tie here in the top of the 4th. Cameron Frost is in almost left center. Big gap in right center. 1-1. Up and away. Ball 2. 2-1.
Kyle, bring him down, buddy. Get the mitt.
It is 7:12 here in Alaska.
And 70 degrees.
I do have the time right? 7:12?
Yes.
Good. I had to go over my time and my colors between the two games. 2-1. Fly ball to deep center. Frost back a few steps. Backpedaling is under it. Makes the catch. And Kyle Serrano out of a jam. He's given up 1 run through 4 innings. It's still a tie game. 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Bottom of the 4th here in Palmer. Tie score 1-1 between the Oilers and the Miners. Here is Hunter Simmons. Singled in the 2nd inning.
And actually, we just got an email from Hunter's parents.
Oh, really?
Steve and Marie.
Don't tell me. I want to read it.
Well, I'll let the listeners know.
Okay, that's fair.
Josh Rose, a teammate of Hunter Simmons and Hunter Rodriguez at Utah. Rose playing on the Oilers. Rose and Hunter Simmons are actually roommates.
I just read that.
That's very interesting.
1-1 on Simmons. Pitch is high, ball 1, 1-1.
Wow. So that must be kind of interesting. You know, kind of cool playing someone here in Alaska from back home at your school in Utah.
Yeah. 1-1. Breaking ball, grounder to the left side. The shortstop. Oh, it's picked by the third baseman. Urbanowitz throws to first. 1 away. Urbanowitz just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Completely cut off the shortstop Jones. 1 away from Mitchell now. He's singled in the 2nd. Got another follower on Twitter. 197.
We're getting there.
Tyler Stubblefield's dad. Thank you very much for the support. May have got another one. Nope. First pitch to Mitchell now. In there for a strike. Mitchell from Texas A&M. College teammate of Tyler Stubblefield, who pitched in Game 1, went a complete game. A 1 ripped over by Ben Taylor, third base coach. 0-2. You may hear Tyler Stubblefield. I think he's right under the crowd mic.
He is. He's keeping track of the pitches by Serrano.
0-2, way outside, and gets to the backstop. No runners on. Looks like he Payton tried to throw a breaking ball, and it just completely got loose. 1-2 on Mitchell now. One, two. Fouled off to the right. Still 1-2. The bottom of the 4th plays 7 innings. So I guess the 5th inning, I know it's not much time. Time to start thinking about that player of the game. We know our player of the game from Game 1. 1-2 is high, 2-2. Two and two on Mitchell now. Here's the pitch. Sent to deep right. In front of the warning track is Josh Rose. And Hunter Simmons' college roommate and teammate makes the catch for out number 2. See what I did there?
I saw that, yeah.
Here's Jordan Rogers, 1 for 1 with a single.
Third baseman number 7, Jordan Rogers.
Rogers from Tennessee, his college teammate Kyle Serrano pitching a very good game.
Come on, Jordan.
First pitch to Rogers. Inside, ball 1. 1-0. 2 outs. Pitch to Rogers. Fouled back right near us. 1-1. Tie game between the Oilers and the Miners. 1 run, no hits, 1 error for the Oilers. 1 run, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Miners. 1-1 to Rogers. Grounder to the right side. Second baseman Hernandez throws to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Payton. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. We're through 4. 1-1. We head to the 5th on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Back here at Herman Brothers, top of the 5th. And swings at the first pitch. That is Jordan Sanford. Swings by the first pitch by Kyle Serrano. Serrano still on the mound. And it's a tie ball game at 1 run apiece between the Oilers and the Miners. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the outside. Check swing, and that's a strike. Now 0-2 count for Jordan Sanford, the left fielder in this second game.
I have to say this might be the best we've seen Kyle Serrano.
Oh, definitely. Been very strong. 0-2 pitch. Ooh, that's ball 1.
Looked pretty good.
Looked good to me.
Serrano doesn't get the call from home plate umpire Ralph Wilcott.
1-2 pitch, swung on. Looper just right over the infield. Charging is Senzel, not able to keep a handle on it. And Sanford will reach on the single. The first hit for Serrano. Brings up Alex Rubanowitz. Oh my goodness.
Third baseman number 14, Alex Rubanowitz.
He reached on an error in the 3rd inning and scored the one and only run for the Oilers. Rubanowitz, the 3rd baseman. Steps in the batter's box, takes his stance. Serrano gets the pitch from now. Here's the pitch. Little high for ball 1. And Sanford at first base with a little bit of a lead. Not a whole lot. There is a hole in right center field with Frost playing a little bit to our left in the left center. 1-0 pitch by Serrano, high and inside for ball 2.
Well, we've got a scoring change on that last play. It was originally ruled a single. It's been now ruled E4. That's the 3rd error for the Miners.
Rubanowitz steps back in. Serrano sets. Here's the pitch. Outside. Now ball 3. 3-0 count for Serrano and Rabanowitz. So Sanford, the left fielder, reached base on an error by Nick Senzel that played at second base. Senzel charts a ground ball, just could not scoop it up in his glove. And now Sanford at first, Rabanowitz with a 3-0 count at the plate. Here's the pitch. High and away for ball 4. So now 2 runners on. The leading run is at second. And Rabanowitz at first with the walk. Brings up Nick Rogowski, the center fielder. 0 for 1 so far in the second game of the doubleheader. In the 3rd inning, he was tagged out at first. And the infield will come and talk with Kyle Serrano along with pitching coach Brad Baker. Head out to the mound and chat with the Tennessee Volunteer. And there's some action out there in the bullpen.
I'm going to try to figure out who that is, only if I can look through the binoculars the right way and not the wrong way. It's like Hunter Rodriguez. You just tell from that windup.
So we could have possibly 3 Utah Utes on the field if Rodriguez came in.
That'd be pretty cool.
Well, we have 3 Tennessee Volunteers right now. Yeah, that's Rodriguez.
We actually have attendance changes as well. 989 in the second game.
Here's a 3-0 pitch. Swung on. Slow chopper back to the mound. Serrano picks it up and not able to make the throw to Simmons at first base. And Sanford will round third, head home for the leading run. And Rabanowitz will stay at second. Excuse me. Sanford will score. Rabanowitz at third and Rogowski at second. And now the Oilers lead the Miners 2 runs to 1 for another error. Brings us back to the top of the order to Miles Jones, the shortstop. Serrano sets. Delivers, shows bunt, pulls back, and that is ball 1. Jones was walked in the first and stole second, then was stranded. Then the third reached on an error, stole second again, but then was caught stealing third for the out. 1-0 pitch, swung on, ground ball down the third base side, foul. Strike 1. Mitchell now heads out to the mound and talk with Serrano. And Rogowski's be an E3 on Hunter Simmons. Hunter Jones. Miles Jones steps out of the batter's box. Sets back in, righty versus righty with Kyle Serrano on the mound. 1-1 count and nobody out. Here's a pitch, big swing for strike 2. So now 1 ball, 2 strikes here at the top of the 5th. Runners on second and third. Oilers lead 2-1, and there are no outs. 1-2 pitch, high and inside, ball 3. Excuse me, ball 2. So 2-2 count now for Kyle Serrano and Miles Jones.
4 errors for the Miners. It's very unusual. Usually a very good defensive team.
2-2 pitch by Serrano. Swung on, foul back. Jones stays alive.
If that foul ball did damage to your car, visit our friends at Napa Auto Parts, locations in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. Napa Day at the Park coming up.
Definitely. That's exciting.
Part of the rain out from the 25th. There's a doubleheader on Tuesday, July 1st.
Looks like Miles Jones broke his bat with that foul ball. And that's after he receives his new bat, steps in the batter's box. 2-2 pitch by Serrano. Here it is. Breaking ball in there for strike 3. Caught him swinging. And that is one away here at the top of the 5th. And that is the 6th strikeout of the second game for Kyle Serrano.
And now up for the Oilers.
That brings up second baseman A.J. Hernandez. 0 for 2 with a flyout in the first inning and a strikeout in the third. Runners on second and third for the Oilers. Here's the pitch. Swung on, high fly ball into left center field. Charging is Frost. That'll get down. Frost picks it up, and Rabanowitz heads home along with Rogowski. They'll both score, and it's an RBI, 2 RBI double for Hernandez. Now the Oilers are up over the Miners, 4-1.
And now up for
With
the Peninsula Oilers.
a runner on second.
Baseman number 28, Ethan McGill.
That brings up Ethan McGill, the first baseman. Struck out in the first, was walked in the fourth, advanced to second on a pass ball. And head coach Ben Taylor now heading out to the mound to talk with Serrano. The entire infield coming in to chat as well. We might have a pitching change. Probably will. And yes, that will be Hunter Rodriguez coming into the game. Kyle Serrano still on the mound. And yep, that'll be it for Kyle Serrano. We'll take a short break and bring you everything you need to know about Hunter Rodriguez, the new pitcher on the mound for the Miners. Stay with us. On the mound now for the Miners, Hunter Rodriguez out of Utah. Comes in the 5th inning here. At the plate, Ethan McGill for the Oilers. Lefty versus lefty. Runner on second, that's A.J. Hernandez. Rodriguez sets. Here's the first pitch. In there for strike one.
Hunter Rodriguez 1-0, the 1.03 ERA. This is his 8th appearance. 13 strikeouts and 8 2/3 innings pitched. Last pitch the 24th against the Chinooks. 1 scoreless inning, struck out the side.
0-1 pitch, and in there for strike two. I think Rodriguez is kind of the under-the-radar kind of pitcher. You know, we see a lot of our starters, the minor starters, a lot of strikeouts, but Rodriguez is kind of one of those guys where he's a reliever, but very, very strong and very, very accurate. 0-2 pitch, high ball one. And Hernandez heads back to second. Made it about a third of the way down to third base.
Yeah, Rodriguez averages just under 1 walk a game.
Quick look at second. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball a little outside and low for ball two.
But he's got zip on his pitches. He has 13 strikeouts in 8 2/3, so always has the strikeout pitch working for him.
Rodriguez sets. Quick look at second. Here's the 2-2 pitch. A little outside for ball three. Now full count. 2 strikes in a row, then 3 balls right after that. Full count. The pitch. Swung on and fouled down the third base side.
As I said, 989 in attendance for Game 2, 1,072 for Game 1. Those are 2 season highs.
Oh, for sure.
It's a Sunday
Well-
afternoon, or now it's Sunday night. It's a good thing to do.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in Palmer. Still 70 degrees. Runner goes at third. Throw down to third, and he's got him. So Rodriguez walks McGill, but Hernandez is caught stealing third. And what a throw by now, and also by Jordan Rogers at third base. Great play there by the catcher and the third baseman.
Now up for the Oilers, number 9.
Well, it's now 2 away here in the top of the 5th. Brings up Gabriel Munoz. Doing the catching tonight for the Oilers. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. Rodriguez sets. Here's the pitch. Low and in the dirt for ball one. Now hops on it, make sure it doesn't get away from him with a runner at first and Ethan McGill. Oilers are up now 4-1 here in the top of the 5th. The second game of this doubleheader. Miners won the first one 4-1. Rodriguez sets. Here's the pitch. And there for strike one.
You said the Game 1 was 4-1. That's the score here right now. Just flip-flop who has the 4 and who's got the 1. Oilers lead 4-1.
Rodriguez, the left-handed pitcher, facing Munoz, the right-handed batter. 1-1 pitch, low for ball two. Munoz steps out of the batter's box. Now takes a couple steps back in. Rodriguez sets. Keeps an eye at first. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Big swing for strike two, and it's a foul tip into the glove of Now. Now evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes, and now 2 outs. The runner on first here in the top of the 5th. Hunter gets a sign from Now. 2-2 pitch. Inside ball 3. Another full count situation for Hunter Rodriguez.
Command struggles. That seems to be the issue here in Game 2. That and fielding.
And run support.
And run support.
Runner goes at first, and instead it's ball 4. Now 2 walks in a row for the reliever Rodriguez. Now runners at first and second.
3 straight base runners. Rodriguez only responsible for 2, though. And now he's going to face his college teammate.
Josh Rose, the right fielder, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. This could be an interesting matchup. Rodriguez receives a sign from now, sets, fires, outside and low for ball 1.
I always like to watch at bats like this, and I'm lucky we have binoculars. Cause I like to always see if there's a picture on the smile on a smile on the pitcher's face.
Rodriguez sets, looks back to second. Pitch. A little low for ball 2.
I mean, Emma's looking too.
I'm looking.
I don't see any. I don't see a smile.
You know, Rodriguez is a really nice guy, very friendly, but I think whenever he's on the mound, it's all business. He's looking for those strikes, looking to get these batters out. Duo pitch. Low and outside, ball 3. And Rogers will come in and talk to Rodriguez along with Mitchell now. They'll meet just in front of the mound. Rodriguez and now will head to the mound and chat a little bit on top of it. And now we'll head back to the plate. So now 3 balls, no strikes for Josh Rose, teammate of Hunter Rodriguez, who's on the mound pitching for the Miners. 3-0 pitch. Low and outside, ball 4, and that's 3 straight walks to load the bases for Hunter Rodriguez.
Here comes Ben Taylor.
Yeah, this is a tricky situation now. There are 2 outs, and the entire infield will come in. And we will have a new pitcher. We'll take a short break, find out who that is, and get you their statistics. We'll be right back after this. On the mound now for the Matsu Miners, Isaiah Chirazis. And he comes in with a bases loaded situation, 2 outs here. In the top of the 5th. And this 5th inning has been a little rough for the Miners. 3 runs have scored. Now the base is loaded. The Oilers lead the Miners 4-1. First pitch, big swing by Nick Thurman, the designated hitter, for strike 1. Chirazis receives a sign from now. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, high fly ball into shallow left field. That'll get down. Caught by Brandon Smith, and that is Ethan McGill crosses home plate for the 5th run. And the bases are now still loaded with 1 run scored. It's the 4th run scored in the 5th inning alone. So that puts Gabriel Munoz on third, Josh Rose at second, Thurman at fifth. At first. In the fifth inning, we have to create a new column because the Oilers now have batted around. Now at the plate, Jordan Sanford. In there for a strike. 1-1 strike now to Sanford. Sanford ground out in the second. Reached base on an error in the fifth and scored a run. That was just earlier in this inning. 1-1 pitch. Little inside for ball 2.
Pretty pitch, Isaiah.
2-1 pitch by Terrazas. Low and outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike now.
The Miners pitcher is really struggling to find the strike zone.
3-1 pitch. Low ball 4, and that's now a run walked in. Gabriel Munoz crosses home plate. Josh Rose moves to third. Nick Thurman to second. And Jordan Sanford a walk to first. Brings up Alex Rubanowitz, the third baseman. Reached on an error in the third and scored a run. And reached on a walk earlier in this inning, in the fifth inning, and also scored a run. Pitch by Terrazas. Well outside for ball 1. Bases full of Oilers. Oilers lead 6-1 now here at the top of the fifth. Here's the pitch inside. In there for a strike though. 1-1 strike.
Isaiah.
Pitch, ground ball into right field. There'll be a base hit and an RBI. It's an RBI single as Josh Rose scores for the Oilers. Thurman moves to third. Sanford to second. And an RBI single for Rubanowitz.
And now up for the Oilers.
Brings up Nick Rogowski, the center fielder.
Nick Rogowski.
Tagged out in the third and reached on an error earlier in this inning and also scored a run. There's a chance that, well, a small chance that every Oiler could score in this inning. But already 6 out of 9 have scored. And Thurman would be the 7th to score. He's on third. I don't think the Miners are really going for that, though.
Nope.
As Terrazas throws strike. Another big swing by Rogowski for strike 2. Now Terrazas up in the count. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Bases full of Oilers. Thurman on third. Stanford at second. And Rubanowitz at first. Rogowski at the plate. Swing and a foul ball. Stays live for 0-2 count.
Rogowski's a two-way player. He's also a pitcher.
O2 pitch by Terrazas. Swung on, fouled down the first base side. It's been seems like a very long inning.
Yes. I don't think this the software we use for the scoring tells us how long an inning's been.
0-2 pitch, swung on, chopper back to the mound. Terrazas has it, throw to first. And finally that is the third out for the inning with the 1-3 put out. And as we head to the bottom of the fifth, the Oilers now lead 7-1 over the Miners. You are listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Bottom of the fifth inning here at Herman Brothers Field. The Oilers, score 6 in the fifth. And we are at the bottom of the fifth now. Miners trail 7-1. We're top of the order now with Cameron Frost, the center fielder. First pitch a little low and outside for ball 1. Frost 0 for 2 with a strikeout in the first and a flyout in the second. It's been great pitching by the Oilers pitcher Tyler Panton. High ball 2. Panton with 1 run, giving up 3 hits. Only 2 strikeouts. Big swing by Frost for strike 1. The Miners aren't the kind of team that likes being down. We've talked about that a lot. But this is a short game, only 7 innings. 2-1 pitch fouled off. So if the Miners are going to do something, they might want to tack some runs on now in the 5th and 6th innings. So maybe in the 7th, when they rally in the Valley, it won't be, as big as a catch-up game towards the end of the game. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on high fly ball into right center field, charging is Rose. Instead, it will be Hernandez, the second baseman, backing up in a shallow right field for out number 1. Brings up Paul Panachone, the shortstop, 2 for 2 tonight. Be good, probably a good player of the game nominee. 2 for 2 with stolen base in the first and scored a run in the third. First pitch by Penton, back up the mound. Charging is Hernandez, and not there in time. Panachone with another single, the third this game. So now Panachone on base, and Cam Newell, the right fielder.
Right fielder number 14, Cam Newell.
He is 0 for 2 with a flyout in the first and a ground out in the third. But really seems to kind of turn on his hitting game whenever there's a base runner for the Miners. Likes to score those RBIs, has 20 on the season. First pitch in there for strike 1. Panachone taking a little bit of a lead off of first. Does have the speed to steal bases, though. Seen that quite a bit lately, actually, with Panachone. 0-1 pitch, high ball 1.
He had stolen base in game 1.
Lefty versus lefty with Panton on the mound and Newell at the plate. 1-1 pitch. In there for strike 2.
Still at 197 followers. Like to get to that magical 200. Follow us on Twitter at ABL Miners, if you don't already.
1-2 pitch to Newell. Fouls it back. Still beautifully sunny here in Palmer. A little bit of some cloud cover, but not a lot. After, about 2 days straight of rain,
It's been great.
Sun is a welcomed friend for, most people. 1-2 pitch, very inside, 4-2. Yes, that was a shot at you.
Yeah, you're staring me down. I had to put on the blue sunglasses that we got back on June 11th.
Peyton sets. 2-2 pitch to Newell. Low ball 3. The 4th inning, Peyton had a 3-up, 3-down inning. Now with Panachone at first and Newell at the plate. 3-2 pitch gets away from the catcher Munoz, but it'll be ball 4 anyway. So Panachone will head to second. Newell to first on the walk. That brings up Matt Decker, the DH. Decker 0 for 2, struck out in the first. Had a fly out in the third.
Designated hitter number 28, Matt Decker.
Decker takes his usual deep breath before he steps in the batter's box. Taps the plate with his bat. And Peyton gets the sign from his catcher, Munoz. First pitch, and there, a little high for ball 1. That'll make Munoz, the catcher, head out to the mound to talk with Peyton. Peyton has given up 1 run on 3 hits. And has struck out 2. You know what? That's actually 1 run on 7 hits. I forgot to tally my runs in the second inning. I thought that was very low. In the second inning, the Miners had 3 singles in a row. As Decker fouls 1 back. 1 ball, 1 strike to Matt Decker. Panichon on second, Newell at first. Here's the pitch by him. Ground ball to the shortstop. Jones picks it up, makes it go to first in time, and that is 1 away. That's 2 away. But Panichon and Newell both advance, so Panichon is at third and Newell at second.
Now up for the Metro Miners.
Brings up Brandon Smith, the left fielder, 1 for 2. Had a fly out in the second inning with a single in the third, but was left on base when Nick Senzel grounded out. Peyton sets, pitches. Low in the dirt for ball 1.
Right now the Miners need to take it. There's not a lot of time left, but just a batter at a time. Just try to get runs in by the batter, not really by the hit, if that makes any sense. Kind of like the Oilers did in the top of the inning. Batter at a time. Just get 1 in, 1, 2. Just try to switch it up a little bit rather than just a big grand slam or something like that.
Pitch fouled on the first base side, giving Chases McGill, the first baseman, and that is out of play. 1-1 count now for Smith. And I think the key also for the Miners is to don't leave any runners on base. You know, they need to score these 2 runs. Trailing 7-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. I think that's probably one of the keys, just not to leave anyone on. They've left 4 on so far through 3 innings. Didn't leave anyone on in the 4th because those 3 up, 3 down.
Oh, yeah. I know.
So Panichon at third, Newell at second. Smith at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swung on, high ball into shallow center field, charging is Rogowski. Rogowski makes the catch, and that is out number 3 to end the inning. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. So we head to the top of the 6th. You are listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Top of the 6th. First pitch is lifted to shallow center. Panachone going out. Smith coming in. It is Panachone who takes care of Miles Jones for out number 1. Defensive changes. Nick Senzel is now at first. Connolly
And now up for the Oilers.
is at second.
Second
Wunderlich
baseman,
is in
number
right.
15, AJ Hernandez.
And I think Loker is in center. We're going to have to check on that. Here is A.J. Hernandez. First pitch is ball 1. See what I can do. It's awfully bright. It's hard to tell. 1-0 is outside. Ball 2. Nope, Cameron Frost is still in center. Strike to Hernandez. Three and 2 on Hernandez. 1 away. He thought that last pitch was ball 4. It was called a strike. Here's the 3-2 from Terrazas. It's outside ball 4. 1 out walk.
And now up for the Peninsula Oilers.
Second walk given up by Terrazas.
Ethan McGill.
And here's Ethan McGill. Struck out in the first, walked in the 4th, walked in the 5th. In the dirt, stopped by Mitchell now. Outside, 2-0. Folks, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. We're going to step aside. Oilers lead the Miners 7-1. We'll be right back. We apologize. All right, folks, we apologize for that. We think we figured out the problem. Gabriel Munoz has an 0-1 count against Isaiah Terrazas. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball lifted to deep left. Rogers and Smith over by the bullpen. Out of play. 0-2. 1 away, runners at first and second. Terrazas got Miles Jones to pop out to short. He walked Hernandez, walked McGill, and Josh Rose on deck. So those defensive changes are final. Brandon Smith is still in left. Cameron Frost is still in center. It's Connolly at second. Senzel moves to first, and Wunderlich is now in right. Pitch lifted to the left, foul, out of play. Still 0-2. Oh, and 2 on Munoz. One away. 7-1. Oilers lead the Miners. Here's the pitch. That's fouled back. Still 0-2. Still with those 197 followers.
You really want those 3 extra, don't you?
Yeah, I do. 0-2. Here's the pitch. Popped up in shallow right center. Brandon Smith coming in. Makes the catch. 2 away. I'll bring up Josh Rose. Rose is 0 for 2. Pair of strikeouts, and he walked and scored in the 5th. First pitch from Terrazas, and there a strike. Oh, 1. Here's the pitch. Hard grounder, first base side over by the Miners. Bullpen foul. 0-2 with 2 outs. And Terrazas working to get out of a jam. Miners trail 7-1. They'll look to add 6 at least in the bottom of the 6th inning. 0-2. Fouled off. Stays alive. Still 0-2. Oh and 2. Terrazas sits. Here it is. Lined up the middle, a base hit. Charging is Frost. A run is in. It's Hernandez, and the Oilers lead it 8-1. That was hit very hard right up the middle, just over the head of Terrazas.
Designated hitter number 18, Nick Thurman.
Here is Nick Thurman. 1 for 3, a single in the 5th. Oilers lead 8-1. First pitch to Thurman is outside ball 1. Terrazas sets. Here's his pitch. Hard liner foul left side.
Thurman hit a single off of Terrazas. He was his first batter. Terrazas faced and hit a single off of him. RBI single.
0-2. Chopper up the middle. Panachone has it. Will take it to the second base bag himself to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit. Excuse me, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on. We're through 5.5. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 8-1 Oilers on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Back in the bottom of the sixth, the Oilers lead the Miners 8-1.
Second baseman number 13, Nick Senzel.
Nick Senzel, Terrence Connolly, and Mitchell Now. Senzel 0 for 2. First pitch from Payton. Hard grounder left side, foul over by Ben Taylor. Eight runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Oilers. 1 run, 7 hits, 4 errors for the Miners. Pitch in the dirt, gets away. 1-1.
Yeah, this second game has been a little rough for the Miners with 4 errors. That's a game high.
1-1. Up and in. 2-1. Yeah, defensive struggles. Not a lot of offense.
But Kyle Serrano had a pretty good start.
Kyle Serrano did. The bullpen's been a little shaky. 2-1. Low and in. 3-1. Part of it is some of these relievers just haven't had a chance to come out and pitch. Haven't pitched in a while. 3-1. Upstairs, ball 4. Leadoff walk.
I think the Miners going to try and get runners on the bases any way they can. Patiently getting walked, just a little single, any way they can to score these runs.
First baseman number 20, Hunter Simmons.
There is Terrence Connolly. Connolly's first at bat in either game. First pitch is up high, ball 1. Looking here, we haven't seen Hunter Rodriguez or Terrazas in such a long time. A little dusty. 1-0, popped foul, and I think the catcher Munoz is looking for it, but it's foul right behind us.
Pitch hitter is Terrence Connolly, number 26.
1-1. Connolly bats from the left side against the lefty Payton. Here's the pitch. Low, 2-1.
We did not see Conley in the first game, but he did play against the Chinooks. Batting in the 8th position, playing third base.
2-1. Way outside, 3-1.
Conley had a single and a double against the Chinooks on the 28th. Hit by a pitch and reached on an error.
3-1 on Connolly. Here's the pitch. That's low ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Tyler Payton. And 2 on and nobody out. And Ben Taylor trying to catch the attention of Nick Senzel at second base, give him the signs. It looks like pitching coach, the head coach out to talk with Payton. I think that's the pitching coach.
Yeah, with the Miners down 8-1, and with this Miners team able to come back in these late game situations, because we're only playing to 7 innings. Your last 2 innings of the game in the 6th and the 7th. Miners going to do something. They're going to do something soon, and I think that's what the Oilers kind of talking about, making sure that their team knows that this Miners team does not give up easily.
This has been a long meeting on the mound, maybe trying to stall to get a little bit more time for that reliever out there in the bullpen. Jordan Rogers is on deck. And that's going to do it for Tyler Payton. There'll be a new pitcher coming in, and we'll have everything you need to know on this new pitcher when we return on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. New pitcher is Nolan Sheridan. He will face Mitchell now, Jordan Rogers, Cameron Frost.
Be a base runner.
2 runners on. Senzel on second, Connolly on first. Pitch chopper to left side. Charging is the third baseman. Urbanowitz throws to first. Runners advance. Senzel to third, Connolly to second. 1 away for Jordan Rogers.
Up now for the Metsu Miners, third baseman number 7.
Rogers 1 for 2.
Rogers.
Singled in the second, grounded out to second in the fourth. You can hear some of the pitchers
Come on, Jordan.
cheering on Jordan Rogers from behind home plate,
Get going.
keeping the book for the pitchers. First pitch is a called strike.
You're reaching, Al.
Nolan Sheridan, a right-hander, comes in relief of Tyler Payton. 0-1 to Rogers. Little low, 1-1. Miners took game 1, 4-1. Oilers lead 8-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Sheridan from San Francisco State. 6'2", 175 pounds. Swing and a miss by Rogers. 1-2. No record, a 2.02 ERA. This is his 8th appearance. 11 strikeouts in 13 1/3. Last pitched on the 27th, and it's the Pilots. 2/3 of an inning. 1 hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. 1-2 to Rogers. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. First strikeout for Nolan Sheridan. 2 down. Back to the top for Cameron Frost.
And now up for the Miners, leadoff batter, center fielder, Cameron Frost.
Frost is 0 for 3. He's been on base in every game this summer. First pitch, low ball 1.
Frost and Panachone, who's up next. If Frost is able to reach base, not have any more outs because it's 2 outs. 2 players that I'd kind of put a safe bet on maybe batting in some of these runs on base.
1-0. Try to hold up, goes around, 1-1.
Won't help, Cam.
2 runners in scoring position. Senzel at third, Connolly at second. 2 down, first base open. 1-1 the count on Frost. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in there for strike 1 and 2 is a slider. Outfield straightaway, Panachone on deck. Still a pretty decent crowd here on the first base side.
Looks good down the third base side also.
1 and 2. Here's the pitch. Broken bat dribbler down the first base line. Ethan McGill takes it, steps on the bag to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on. We're through 6th. Oilers lead 8-1.
Peninsula
New pitcher on the mound, that is Matthew Decker, the new arrival here in Palmer for the Matsu Miners. Just got here last night around 12:30 a.m. Alaska time. And now on the mound to pitch this 7th inning for the Miners. First pitch low for ball 1. Pitching to Jordan Sanford, the left fielder. Grounded out in the 2nd inning, then reached base in the 5th on an error and scored a run. And it's a line drive into left field down the third base side. Sanford will round first, head into second, picked up by Smith. The throw in, and Sanford slides into second and is safe for the leadoff double. Kind of a rough way to start your first outing here with the Miners for Matthew Decker. Matthew Decker out of Incarnate Word. And his hometown, I looked it up.
Hickory
Creek,
Texas.
Just, it is literally on the lake of Lake Louisville in the Dallas area.
There is your Texas geography
Lesson of the day.
by
Seems
Professor
like
Tiedemann right there.
Yeah, it looks like we do this every game now. Now at the plate for the Oilers, Alex Rubanowitz. Decker sets. Here's the pitch. And they're a little high for ball 1. Rubanowitz playing at third base in this second game of the doubleheader. Reached base in the 3rd inning with an error. Scored a run, then was walked in the 5th. Scored a run, and then had a single. The second go-around in the 5th inning when the Oilers batted around. Matthew Decker, the lefty. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, foul down the first base side. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Rubanowitz. Outfield pretty straight away. Frost out in center, maybe like a foot to our right. But there is that gap in left center. Lefty versus lefty with Decker and Rubanowitz. Decker gets the signs from now. Sets. Quick look at second. Here's the pitch. High breaking ball, and that's ball 2. Decker, a freshman, correct?
I'd have to check.
But he is a lefty, and it's always good to kind of, the Miners have a good amount of right-handed pitchers on the team, but also they have those lefties that they can turn to in the situation. 2-1 pitch inside for ball 3. And if the Miners really kind of hope to come back here in the bottom of the 7th, I think Decker and the Miners are going to have to hold the Oilers to no runs here in the top of the 7th. Trailing here 8-1 in the second game of the doubleheader. Miners beat the Oilers in game 1, 4-1, but now we're trailing 8-1 here in the top of the 7th. And that's ball 4 for Rubanowitz. That puts runners at first and second. Sanford on second, Rubanowitz at first, and Rogowski, the center fielder, now at the plate.
Decker just finished his junior year Incarnate Word.
Junior year, okay. Rogowski was tagged out in the 3rd inning, reached on an error in the 5th, and grounded out in his second go-around in the 5th. Seems like just about every player in the Oilers has reached on an error, even though the Miners have only given up 4. It's quite a bit for this Miners team. First pitch to Rogowski. Big swing for strike 1 by Decker. Rogowski, the right-handed batter. Sanford and Rubanowitz. This is difficult. It's bottom of the order with the lead off of first and second base. That's in there for strike 2 now. Decker up in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Still nobody away here at the top of the 7th with 2 runners on. Decker sets. Quick look at second. Fires. Breaking ball in there for strike 3 and a 3-pitch strikeout. The first strikeout of the night for Matt Decker, his first strikeout with a Miners uniform on. We head to the top of the 7th. That's Miles Jones, the shortstop.
For the Peninsula Oilers,
Jones
the
was walked in the
shortstop,
first
number
and
2,
stole second,
Miles Jones.
but was left on base. Reached in the third inning, reached on an error and stole second, but then was caught stealing. Then struck out in the fifth and had a fly out in the sixth. First pitch inside for ball 1 by Decker. Still runners at first and second. Urbanowitz at first, Sanford at second. Here's a pitch by Decker. Low, ball 1. Excuse me, ball 2. No strikes, 2 balls, and still just 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Crowd still on hand here at Herman Brothers. Sun still high in the sky in Alaska.
Making a lot of noise still, too.
Breaking ball hit high by Jones. And that'll go foul behind us.
Thought that was my chance to foul ball, but I realized we are inside.
Again, yes. We are inside. And there is a fence in front of us and a net kind of above us.
We're safe.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get hit anytime soon. But I'm sure, there's a plethora of baseballs in this stadium. You could go find one. You just might not catch a foul ball.
I like to find home run balls.
2-1 pitch, high breaking ball for ball 3. Now 3-1 count to Jones. Yeah, I was saying, the sun's still high in the sky, but that's not a surprising thing in Alaska. It is 8:30 right now, Alaska time. 3-1 pitch. And there for strike 2. Now full count for Jones. It is kind of cloudy. Not really. Still more sunny than cloudy.
Well, it's gotten to the point where I can't see myself in the window as much, and that's when it gets a little darker, which is good for me.
3-2 pitch swung on over the infield into right field. That'll get down for a base hit. And Jones will run first. Actually, he'll hold up. And Sanford will come around third, head home, and score the 9th run of the game for the Oilers. And Urbanowitz holds up at third. And it's an RBI single for Miles Jones. That brings up A.J. Hernandez. Had a fly out in the first, a strikeout in the third. Had a double in the 5th, but then was caught stealing third. That was just a beautiful throw by Now, the catcher, throwing to third to pick him off, and then was walked in the 6th and scored a run. First pitch by Decker in there for a strike. Runners on the corners for the Oilers. Urbanowitz on third and Jones on first. Here at the top of the 7th. Oilers lead the Miners 8-1. Breaking ball in there for strike 2.
Notice Decker has excellent breaking pitches. A lot of movement on them.
Decker sets for the 0-2 pitch. Here's the pitch. High fly ball into left center field. Going back for it is Smith. Smith catches it. Urbanowitz tags up at third and will score a run. The 10th now for the Oilers. But that is now 2 away for the Miners. Jones stayed at first base, and he's the only runner on the bases for the Oilers. And now at the plate is Ethan McGill, the first baseman.
Ethan McGill.
He struck out in the first inning. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. And then get this. He was walked in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. 3 walks in a row to McGill. And he scored on the walk in the 5th inning by Hunter Rodriguez. And now he's hit by the pitch by Decker. And that'll move Miles Jones to second. McGill at first. And we'll bring up the catcher, Gabriel Munoz. Munoz struck out in the first inning, had a flyout in the fourth, was walked in the fifth, and scored and had another flyout in the sixth. Munoz Munoz doing the catching tonight for the Oilers.
This is the second time the Miners pitching staff has given up 10 or more runs. Just the second time.
Swings at the first pitch, fouls it back to the third base side.
I feel like every ball that's hit off the bat of Munoz just looks like it's got that home run depth to it. You may disagree. Most of them, a lot of them, the ones that have gone foul.
Yeah. Well, Munoz hasn't had a base hit. It's a ground ball down the third base side to Rogers. Makes the throw to Conley at second for the put out to end the inning. But 2 runs score on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. As we head to the bottom of the 7th, it needs to be a rally in the valley if the Miners hope to come back from this one. The Miners trail 10 runs to 1. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Bottom of the 7th inning, and it is rally in the valley time here at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. Bottom of the 7th inning, game 2 of this doubleheader. Paul Panichone at the plate. First pitch in there for a strike by Nolan Sheridan, the pitcher for the Oilers. Oilers lead the Miners 10-1. 0-1 pitch, swung on, high fly ball into left field. Sanford, the left fielder, doesn't even have to take a step. And that is 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th.
Time to rally in the valley.
Time to rally with 1 out now.
Look who's on deck.
Johnny Loker.
Haven't seen him in a while. Good to see him back.
Now at the plate, Dane Wunderlich. Wunderlich in for Cam Newell. First pitch in there for a strike. Sheridan sets. Pitches. Little outside for ball 1. 1-1 count now for Wunderlich. Wunderlich out of Brenham, Texas. Goes to Rice University. 1-1 pitch. Big swing for strike 2.
Excellent baseball program at Rice. Of course, all these programs are great.
Oh, definitely.
Send your players in the Alaska League, pretty much for the most part, from these prestigious universities. That's why it's such a prestigious program, a league.
1-2 pitch in there for strike 3, and that is already 2 away for the Oilers. And that is the second strikeout of the night for Sheridan. And that brings up Johnny Loker. Haven't seen Loker in quite a while.
Miners,
It's good to see him
number 12.
have this at bat here. We all know what happened the last time he was at bat in the bottom of an inning. The Miners were down. Walk-off grand slam to beat the Pilots here at Herman Brothers. And Loker digs in. Here's the pitch by Sheridan. Low and outside in the dirt. 4-1.
Yeah, he's got to be happy to get back into that batter's box. Watching him during batting practice looked rushed. And head coach Ben Taylor actually said, slow down, slow down. I know you're excited to get back, but just slow down.
1-0 pitch. Big swing for strike one. And I think every time he left the cage after batting practice, he had some sort of smile you could just kind of see. He was happy to be back and swinging.
Yeah, he was in a good mood last night knowing that the next game, or the next day, he was ready to play.
1-1 pitch to Loker. High ball 2. Loker takes a deep breath and steps back into the box. 2-1 pitch by Sheridan. Low and away, ball 2. Excuse me, ball 3. Loker now up in the count. 3 balls, 1 strike. Sheridan sets. Here's the pitch. Fouled back, now full count for Loker. Three balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here at the bottom of the 7th. Only playing 7 innings. Unless the Miners tie it, then we'll head into extras. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, foul ball down the third base side. Loker will head back to the plate. And actually, Loker broke a bat in batting practice today.
You know what? I saw that.
Yep,
I think that's when I was actually walking off the field.
definitely broke one. If that gives you any idea of how happy he was to be swinging a bat again.
Sure, stick with us for the Matthew Myers postgame show.
3-2 pitch. Foul back behind us.
When this one comes to an end here from head coach Ben Taylor and our player of the game.
Be sure to get in your player of the game nominations. I think I have an idea.
Well, we're thinking of different people.
Maybe.
That works too. It's up to you guys, though.
3-2 pitch. Big swing for strike 3, and that'll end the game here in Palmer. Final score 10-1. Miners lose this one to the Peninsula Oilers from Kenai.
For the Matsu Miners,
And be sure to stick with us. We'll take a short break, tally the votes for player of the game, and we will have head coach Ben Taylor in the booth with us along with our player of the game. Stick with us. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
All right, back on the Matsu Miners post-game show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. The Miners fall to the Peninsula Oilers 10-1. Bringing Emma Tiedemann. Emma, little bit of everything. Little lack of offense. Pitching wasn't great, especially the relief pitching. Kyle Serrano really wasn't too bad. And the defense. The defense was part of that rough fifth inning where the Oilers scored 6. There were 2 errors in the inning.
Right, it's the errors that we saw, and usually there was a 1 to 3 error, something along those lines, and that's just very uncharacteristic. And I think that got the team down overall, and just really kind of put the team down. Maybe not down, but I mean it's tough whenever you have a couple errors, and when you're used to seeing a lot of cleanly fielded balls, and the run support there also obviously was not there.
Yeah, you're going to hear from head coach Ben Taylor and Taylor's take when he comes on up to the press box, as well as from our player of the game. We will reveal who that is. I like doing it just by showing his face on camera when we turn the camera on. He's sitting down right here. It's kind of a fun way to do it, don't you think?
Sure. Add some suspense.
Yeah, add some suspense. Let's break down game 1. It really went well. Dallas DeVries coming in, he looked like the guy that was going to shut the Miners' offense down, but no, it was the other way around. Tyler Stubblefield was just fantastic. Pitched a complete game.
He did, and gave up only 6 hits, but only 1 run. Just outstanding pitching by Stubblefield, and definitely got the run support that he needed from his batters. And yeah, that was game 1.
All right, looks like we're ready for Taylor's Take with head coach Ben Taylor. We'll be right back on the Matsu Myers postgame show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. All right, there is head coach Ben Taylor, ready for Taylor's Take on the Matsu Myers postgame show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. This could be a little bit longer, 2 games to go over, but Dallas DeVries coming in had incredible stats. We didn't know much about him coming in just because never faced the Oilers before.
Dallas DeVries?
He was the pitcher for the Oilers to start in game 1.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah. Came in and you guys seem to hit him pretty well right away.
We can hit. I mean, we've hit just about every night all year. I mean, we can hit.
Tyler Stubblefield had a great outing, and he was going to go one of the 2 days. Why game 1?
I don't know. It was just the way it worked out.
And Matt Decker from Stanford, another great game, able to get on base, kind of keep things going, scored 2 runs, 1 off of a double, 1 off of a walk. And how important was it, kind of once you got on the base, you had players get on base, how important was it to make sure that at least 1 of 2 of them scored? Because, DeVries is a very strong pitcher along with Stubblefield. We were expecting it to be more of a pitcher's kind of match. So whoever kind of scored first would win the game, obviously. So how important was kind of Decker and then also Newell getting on base and scoring also?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to leave runs on the board. Leave too many guys in scoring position. And we did a pretty good job of that. I was happy with the way we swung the bats in the first game, and guys played hard and competed, and Stubbs got had some quick innings late in the ball game and worked with a good tempo, and yeah, it was a kind of a typical Miners win.
Josh Meyer had that triple early on. That seemed like it kind of sparked some stuff, and everything the pieces kind of came together right there.
Yeah, that dude's really good, man. Josh Meyer, and he doesn't even know how good he really is. And he came out, he's been out working early and working on his swing, and he's really starting to believe in himself, and, that guy's a really special ball player.
Let's transition into game 2. The bat's a little silent, but Kyle Serrano, he actually started off and pitched pretty well, I thought.
Yeah, we didn't even know if Kyle was going to pitch because Kyle had food poisoning. So it was kind of a game time decision, and I thought he was fantastic. We obviously didn't take very good care of the ball behind him, but you can never pick the day you're going to stink. And you can never pick who it's going to be, and it's a day in and day out game, and these games happen. And then it is what it is. I mean, the only thing we're disappointed is we would have liked to have ticked that 10th win box, conference win box, and so we're sitting at 9, which is fine. I think we're 9-4 in the conference, and I think we've been in first place for a week now, which is a box we're going to tick when we go into the clubhouse. And it's really easy to be like bitter or negative guy or whatever. The second game, it is what it is. And I tell these guys, when they win, it's on them, and when we lose, it's on me. And there's probably some things I should have done or not done or whatever, and it is what it is.
How difficult is it playing a doubleheader?
Well, I mean, some of these guys, we got to look at all the variables. Some of these guys haven't played a doubleheader in ages because their schools, they don't play them. But that's whatever. You got to play. You got to play baseball, and it is a long day, but it is what it is. Doubleheader split is fine.
And what kind of mindset do you kind of go into the 6th or 7th inning? You're not going to play 9. Does that kind of change? A little more sense of urgency earlier on?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Everybody's pushed up a little bit innings wise as the relievers. If Stubbs had gone 5, everybody would have bumped up a little bit. And yeah, you gotta go offensively a little more. And you've got to take your chances when you got him. So, that's a good question though.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much, and I will see you tomorrow.
Hey, what about this weather?
Right?
Like a week
Isn't
ago,
it awesome?
I'm
I don't like
dying,
it.
I'm freezing, I'm
See, I don't-
miserable. Now I'm getting tanned again. This is great.
I was sitting in the sunshine and just soaking it in, but he
I
didn't
don't
like it.
because
How do you
when
not
the,
like the
when
sun?
the sun
You are
That's
from
what
the
I'm
East
saying.
Coast.
when
huh?
the sun is I am.
You're bitter. East Coast bitter.
When the sun comes right down here, it's right here. I can't see.
Get some sunglasses.
I've got these going. They don't
Those are
help.
bootleg though.
I know. And I see myself, and I'm not a good-looking person, and I just see myself right in this window right here, and I can't see what's
You
going
won't
on.
put a picture of somebody else up there then.
Oh,
See,
oh,
there's
oh, oh.
free will. Is
Oh, oh. Maybe.
All right, I think you guys want to talk to Paulie, don't you?
There. All right, there's our player of the game, Paul Peninsula.
Best shortstop in the league.
All right, there you hear it. Ben Taylor. Thanks, Coach. We'll see you tomorrow.
You got to play good. I said it on air. You're the best shortstop in the league.
All right, here comes Paul Panichone, our player of the game. There you see him. Paul Pan. How do you look? You like the way you look right there?
Look alright.
You all right?
Yeah.
Say, your parents watching?
Probably. Yeah.
Say hi to your parents.
Hey mom, hey dad. Happy birthday, Dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
he shares
Dad's
a birthday with Nick Senzel.
Yeah, he does.
All right. A little bit of a rough first game, but your second game in game 2, you seem much more comfortable at the plate. You seem comfortable at the plate all summer long. What's been your success?
Working with BT, he's a pretty good hitting coach, and I'm just starting to get comfortable. I'm feeling pretty good. Hitting's a confidence thing, and I got a lot of confidence going, and just got to take every at bat seriously and don't take at bats off. That's pretty much what I've been working on.
Seems like you kind of have a golden glove in the shortstop. Has that always been the case, or is that something you've worked on through in college?
Coming into college, I didn't feel as I was the best defensive infielder, but our coaching staff is pretty good defensively. We preach defense, so I've definitely improved my game in that area.
And you scored the only run in the second game for the Miners and had 3 singles, including a stolen base, and a stolen base in the first game also. So you go for these stolen bases. You one of the leaders on the team with stolen bases. And what does that mean to get those extra bases for the guys at bat, try to score those extra runs?
Yeah, it's good to move in the scoring position, and also it moves the defense around. So if I can move up to another base and scoring on base hits to the outfield, and it helps out in a lot of different ways. You can also get base hits through open holes where guys are not covering anymore.
And do you like BT's style of the kind of double steal? We've seen that quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be careful. The guy on first base, make sure he gets a good jump so he doesn't get backdoored. But, I mean, it's a good play.
All right, Paul Panichone, our player of the game on the Matsu Miners postgame show. Thank you very much, Paul. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks.
And we'll be right back and finish things off. We'll be right back. All right, we're going to wrap up the Matsu Miners post-game show. Miners take game 1, 4-1. The Oilers take. It was a pitcher's duel well, I wouldn't really call it a pitcher's duel, but Tyler Stubblefield pitched very well. He was our player of the game in game 1, and he pitched a great game in the day cap, but in the night cap, it wasn't so smooth. It started kind of early, I would say, with a lack of offense. Then it was the defense, and then it was the pitching. Got a little bit of everything. This is one they're just going to learn from.
Yeah, definitely. And, after that first game, it was really a great game on both sides of the ball. It was one of those great baseball games to watch, especially if you're on the side of the Miners. But then on the second game, it was one of those where you just kind of cringe with all the errors. Kyle Serrano, did a great job considering he was, had food poisoning. He was on the mound sick. I mean, that's just outstanding. What a team player to step up for your team, knowing your team needs you in this situation, and to pitch anyway, even though, you probably don't feel so great. And, step up for your team, but that fifth inning, I think, really got the Miners. And 6 runs scored in that inning alone with walks and singles and errors and strikeouts and double. I mean, it was just a little bit of everything. And I think it was more bad than good, and I think that's what really kind of did it in for the Miners in the second game.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna check on this right now, and I think I'm right, but I could very well be wrong. I was wrong. Kyle Serrano went 4 1/3, gave up the 4 runs. He got the loss, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, but he only allowed 1 hit. That was kind of what was surprising, and just walks and the errors, and that's kind of what hurt him, and it's kind of what stung a little bit.
Yeah, definitely, and we were going into it and expecting, Kyle Serrano saw 4 batters in the first inning, 3 in the second, 4 in the third, and then 4 in the fourth. But then the fifth, I just think it was exhaustion. You're not feeling well. But, yeah, it was just the bats weren't there either. Just kind of both sides.
All right, so we're going to wrap things up on the Matsu Miners post-game show. I'm Tiedemann, I'm Austin Pollock. The final in Game 1, the Miners beat the Oilers 4-1, and then the Oilers take Game 2, 10-1. And we'll be back tomorrow. Miners travel down to Anchorage, take on the Pilots at 7 o'clock. Be with us at 6:45 for the pregame show. We'll get you ready for a National League matchup, and then there's a doubleheader again. Another 14 innings of baseball in one day. That's July 1st. That's Tuesday back here at Herman Brothers Field. That is Napa Day at the Park. So once again, the final score in Game 1, the Miners beat the Oilers 4-1. In Game 2, the Oilers beat the Miners 10-1. For Tiedemann, I'm Austin Pollock. Thank you very much.